Hello and welcome. This video will guide you through the Hammond Hill Radio Tower Loop trail as featured on the Tompkins County Trails Less Traveled list. So this hike starts on Hartford-Slaterville Road, and I apologize for all of the road noise here. There's a little pull-off parking right here. It's marked by a green FLT sign. And it's located about 5 miles east of the intersection with Route 79, about 13 miles east of Ithaca. So this hike starts next to a little nice beaver pond here. Today you can actually see some beavers in here. But to start the actual trail, it starts on the north side of the road, so it's right across from the pull-off parking. And this is a nice little hike, about 4.5 miles long. It goes up to the radio tower. And it's a great one to do on a hot day. It's all shaded, and it's at some of the higher elevations in Tompkins County. Yeah, and it's also a very well-maintained trail, great condition all the time. Okay, so about 4/10 of a mile into the route, you'll come to this stream crossing, which is dried up now, but still, you can always tell it's here. And this is where the climb, so to speak, of the route starts. It's well marked, so don't worry about looking for the trail when you cross the stream. But we're just starting a little mellow climb up some switchbacks, and this will help to gain all of the elevation to the top of the radio tower hill, which is probably around 300 feet from here, 300 vertical feet. So about 1.4 miles in, you'll basically be at the radio tower, and you'll know because you'll have a trail register here. And if you're up here, I do encourage you to actually sign in, because the Finger Lakes Trail Conference actually uses the information to determine what the volume of hikers are that use this trail. So if they think that not enough people are using the trail, then the maintenance is going to be sporadic. But anyway, once you sign in, you'll be able to get a little close-up of the radio tower by going on this little off-trail path. You're not technically allowed to go beyond here, but right here, here's the radio tower. Pretty cool to look at. It's pretty tall. And this is like the top of the hill, but don't really expect any sweeping vistas or anything. In the winter, you might be able to get some views from the trees, though. Okay, so just before 2 miles, you'll get to this 3-way intersection. So you can see the Finger Lakes Trail, the white blazes, they go kind of to the right side. But for now, we actually want to take the left side. And we're on multiple use trail in Hammond Hill State Forest, maintained by the DEC. It's marked by these circular trail markers, and in particular, we're going to be wanting to follow the red number 1 trail. So we'll be on this specific one for just a little bit before we turn off again, so make sure to stay alert here. Okay, so just a few yards after that intersection before, you'll come to this other clearing, and this time you'll want to take the left side again. this is still the red #1 trail. And for the first part of this, it's kind of just a little service road. And you'll follow this for a little bit, and then you'll turn left and follow a more single track trail. And about 200 meters after that previous intersection, you'll get to this little parking lot. And over here, you can see there's a little primitive campsite of sorts, but we're not going over there. So kind of also on the left of this parking lot, the trail will continue, and now it's more narrow. You'll go through this little ditch here and then go back up the hill. And again, check to make sure you're still following the red 1 trail markers. If you see a different color, then you're going the wrong way. Okay, so after a while, you'll be on this snowmobile trail, which is conjoined with red #1. But now you're gonna actually want to take a little U-turn here and get on the red #2 trail. And that snowmobile trail just kind of goes back to the road at a different location. So if it starts really getting overgrown and you don't see any more of those red trail markers, then you probably missed the turn, but it's marked pretty well, so you shouldn't really have a problem finding it. But you'll be on this trail for a little bit, and then we'll get back over to the FLT, where basically the loop will end, and you'll just go back the way you came. This is where the hike becomes a bit confusing. So you have the option to either keep following this red 2 trail all the way back to the FLT where it meets, or you could do a very short bushwhack to cut off some mileage. And well, I don't really encourage bushwhacking. No way encouraging that. It's always good to stay on the regular trail if you can. But it seems kind of arbitrary, like especially if you look at the map, you can see that the red 2 and FLT, they're essentially like parallel to each other for most of the time. So if you keep going, you'll just be seeing the same stuff over again. But the bushwhack is super short. I can literally do it right here on camera. So there's no really clear location of when to do it. It's just when the 2 trails are the closest to each other. But it's also kind of at the top of the hill again when the red 2 flattens out, and see right here, I'm already back at the FLT. So once you're here, you'll just turn right, heading south, and it's about another 1.2 miles this way, which you already came up this way if you've been following this walkthrough so far. But it's 1.2 miles back to Hartford-Slithersville Road. And 1.2 miles later, we are back at the trailhead. So that pretty much does it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed and found it helpful. got a better sense of what the trails are like around here. I'll be posting more content about the Trails Less Traveled list. And before I sign off, I should mention that my website, trailslesstraveledny.org, is available in the link in the description below. It'll give a nice description of all of the hikes and trails in there, including this one. So do check it out if you can. But until then, happy trails.